In India, caste, culture, tribes, and urban life. Who was the first one to understand all this from an Indian perspective? And what connects them all? That's where G.S. Ghurye comes in. The man who didn't rely on the West, but tried to see India through Indians. He studied India as it is, complex, evolving, and deeply rooted. Meet Ghurye, the man who built Indian sociology from the ground up. As the head of Bombay University's sociology department, G.S. Ghurye trained legends like M.N. Srinivas, Irawati Karve, and others. He also launched the Indian Sociological Society and guided over 80 theses. In his book, he argued that caste emerged historically from Aryan contact, not purely from domination. He believed Brahmins were early teachers and spiritual guides who helped spread cultural values, and that's how caste slowly became hierarchical. But it wasn't rigid from the beginning. His model described caste through six features: hierarchy, segmental divisions, purity pollution rules, restricted occupations, clothing and diet restrictions, and most importantly, caste endogamy, where violations were met with severe social penalties. Originally flexible, caste hardened with time, especially during British rule, fragmenting into rigid jatis. And Ghurye saw this transformation as evolving, yet problematic. In the scheduled tribes, Ghurye famously called tribes backward caste Hindus, arguing centuries of Hindu contact had acculturated many into Hindu system of worship and belief. He criticized Warrior Elvin's isolationist view. Instead, he advocated for integration, with the caveat that forced isolation could lead to fragmentation or secession. But what did Ghurye mean by isolation leading to fragmentation? Take Nagaland as an example. For years, tribal communities were kept apart from the mainstream to preserve their culture. Instead of unity, this created a stronger sense of separateness, eventually fueling demands for independence. This is exactly what Kure warned. If tribes are cut off, they may drift away, even towards secession. That's why he argued for respectful integration, not forced isolation. Ture pointed out that towns emerged from agricultural surplus and trade historically. The real urbanization crisis, slums, inequality, congestion, only took off during the colonial era. Take Banaras. What began as a sacred center grew into a bustling city. Or Surat, once India's textile and trade hub. Similarly, under the British, Bombay mushroomed into a commercial giant, but also brought new urban problems like overcrowding, slums, and poverty. In Indian sadhus, Ghurye argued that religion is India's cultural backbone. He showed how renouncers, the sadhus, acted as bridges between the spiritual and the everyday world. Think of how sadhus and saints shaped India. From Shankaracharya, who debated across kingdoms, to Kabir, who questioned rituals, to Gandhi, drawing inspiration from renunciation. These figures may reject worldly life, yet they profoundly shaped it. Critics argue that Ghurye over-focused on Hindu traditions. He didn't give due weight to Islamic contributions like Sufi culture, Urdu literature, or Mughal architecture. Nor did he emphasize colonial impacts like railways, modern education, or English law, all of which reshaped Indian society. He also missed the harsher side of caste, untouchability, Dalit exploitations, honor killings. While Ghurye gave us a cultural map, thinkers like Ambedkar showed the lived reality of oppression, and sociologists like M. N. Srinivas used field work to expose caste in practice.